It is really early while I'm filming this, so I have my coffee in hand and I'm ready to get talking. I feel very professional with this. I don't know. I don't know. Hey everyone, what is up and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amanda and I make lifestyle and college content on this YouTube channel, and I hope you guys stick around, join the family and the squad. We would love to have you here. So as you can see by today's title, we are doing a third year in university review. I've done a first year and second year and I was like, you know what? Let's keep the ball rolling. Let's make a third year. So yes, it is my third year of university. I am currently studying communication studies at Concordia University. Well, I just finished my third year. I'm not in my third year. I'm going to be going in my fourth year. But like I said, I just finished my third year in communication studies at Concordia University. And I would have been done this year, but I switched programs. I was in women's studies and it was just not for me. I've talked about it in previous videos, but it just like was not the program for me and I wasn't enjoying myself as much as I should be or like thought I would be, and I just like didn't see like a future for me in that perspective, like program and everything. So I decided to switch programs and here we are in communication studies. So yeah, I just finished my third year. I have a lot to say about this year. It was very different and it was very you know, COVID like. So I wrote down a list of points that I kind of wanted to like touch on in this video, and then I also asked you guys on Instagram to ask me some questions. So I'm going to first start off with like the points that I have and then answer the questions. So let me just take a sip of coffee. Yum. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the thing we all know. School was online this semester, or this whole year actually. This whole entire year school was online. I hated it. I hated online school. It just like wasn't for me. I have like ADD, so like trying to concentrate on a screen, like focus and like actually like take stuff in and learn was like not it. And Zoom is like glitchy, so sometimes like your teacher would freeze or like you wouldn't hear something or would like skip over a word. It just like was not it. A lot of the people that I spoke to or have spoken to also agree that like online school is just not it. It's not what we like, it's not what we enjoy, it's not what we vibe with. Yeah, I hated it. Like I hated the whole online thing. I personally barely felt like I learned, and it wasn't like because my teachers like were bad. Like I feel like I didn't learn because I wasn't in a classroom and I wasn't in like a setting that I'm used to. So doing school online was really weird because, as you know, I do YouTube, I have a podcast, I have businesses, I work online sometimes. So like doing school online, like I just felt like I wasn't at school because for the past like 19 years of my life, school was like in a building, in a place, surrounded by people. Like that's how school was for me or is for me. So like doing it online, just like I felt like I wasn't in school and I felt like I wasn't doing the work that I was supposed to do, and I felt like I wasn't learning how I'm supposed to learn. It was just a mess. And I'm really hoping next semester we'll be in person. I don't know, because online school was just not it for me. It was not it. And then going into that, it was hard to like make connections. Like everyone says like during university, like you make such good friends and like you're all in like into the same things because you're in the same program, and that just like really didn't happen. I've had a friend that I've had since kindergarten or since like grade 1 or 2 pop into my life again. And then I made another friend during the class, but that was like pre-COVID-ish or like right at the beginning, and then like that's it. Like there's no like, how do you make friends online? Like how do you do it? Like I'm not gonna just like go follow someone on Instagram that like I see in the class or like DM them on Zoom. Like no. So I feel like it's really hard to like make connections, to make friends, to just like have that actual like university experience. And like I'm not really like a social person in person. Like I'm not like very outgoing. I won't like just randomly come up and talk to you. But like now I feel like even more of a lack of like a social life within school. Like I don't know. I like just like wasn't what I imagined. And then yeah, it's like hard to make friends, hard to make connections. And like for some reason, I don't feel like a real college student or a real university student. I like, because I'm not like physically somewhere surrounded by all these university people, all these college people, I just feel like I'm not in college. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I don't know. It's like such a weird feeling because like I know I'm in college because I'm doing the work and I'm crying over these essays and having mental breakdowns over schoolwork. But then at the same time, I feel like I'm doing the work for my room, where I also do YouTube, my podcast, my business, my side job, sleeping, getting ready in the mornings. Like, I feel like everything has turned, like, my room has turned into my school, my part-time job, my side hustles. Like, it has turned into all of that, and I just like don't feel like I'm in school anymore. It's just like really weird. I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels this way. So if you do, please let me know, because I need to feel not so alone in this. So it was a very interesting year. And like going into that, I've like always wanted to do fully online school. Like before I even applied to Concordia, I was like, I'm gonna do fully online school. That didn't work out. And now that I think of it, I'm really glad it didn't, because I'm only doing 1 year and I'm already like, I hate this. I can't imagine doing like 3-4 years of this full online. Like someone was looking out for me and not letting it work out so that I can actually be in physical school, because I think I would have like lost my mind. I would have completely lost my mind if I did fully online school. Like other than like the whole online aspect and like lack of connection, lack of friends and stuff, this semester was decent. It's really hard to like give a review on something that was like fully from your laptop, but it was decent. I had decent classes. My classes I had one class, I don't even know the name of it, but it was like, I guess it's an English class. I don't know. They taught us how to write like a good thorough research paper. I had a class on introduction to HIV/AIDS. I had a class that was all about like media policies, and then I had a class that was, I don't even know the name of it. It was another communications class. We learned about like GIFs, aesthetics, and things like that. So my classes were somewhat interesting. Some were boring. Some were not as boring. But like content-wise, I don't really have much to complain about. Teacher-wise, for the most part, they were good. You know, some people were slacking, some were not. But like, it's online. Like I don't think they're used to it, just like we're not used to it. So like I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. And other than that, there's like no social things that go on, so nothing to comment on that. So I don't know, this year was like something. It wasn't my fave. It was not my fave year. I'm hoping for a better year next year. So yeah, I'm going into my 4th year and final year next year, so that's really exciting, as long as I don't fail any classes, which we won't. Yeah, going into my last and final year. So that's why I really do hope that like things are at least half in person, just because I want to have like my last year of university be somewhat normal and like do some things and like be on campus and see friends and make friends. I don't know. I really hope, I'm crossing my fingers that we're gonna get to that point where like we can be in person and not be a risk to each other, you know? So yeah, I'm excited to go into my 4th and final year, and I'm just hoping that this summer does well COVID-wise so that I can go back to in-person school. So cheers to that. And now I'm going to go find my Instagram post and answer the questions that I got. What's one positive about online school? Okay, so I spoke a lot about negatives in this video already about online school, but I guess like I can think of 2 positives. So one is that I can literally roll out of bed 5 minutes before class and pop into class. Beforehand, I would have to wake up like an hour, 2 hours before, get ready, make my way to campus. And for me to get to campus, I would have to take like a bus, metro, and another bus. So it was a lot of traveling. So I really enjoyed like waking up 5 minutes before class and just jumping into class. And then the second one was that like we didn't have to have our cameras on, which also was a blessing and a curse at the same time. So I didn't like have to get ready, look presentable, like people did not see what I looked like. And that was great. That was a great time. Just being comfortable doing schoolwork without people seeing me. We love that. What has it been like work-wise for your major? So my major is like pretty much like physical projects or like essay based. I don't really have exams for my major. I think I've had one so far in like the 12, 13 classes that I've taken for my major. So yeah, communications is either a lot of like physical, tangible projects like films, audio, things like that. Or then there's also the essay aspect, like writing papers and things like that. So like communications is very heavily based on projects and essays. So if that's what like you did and you like, communications is a good option for you. But yeah, it wasn't terrible. Some classes had more little projects than others, but for the most part, like work-wise and like course load, it was like pretty decent. Obviously I leave things to the last minute, so I feel like more stressed and feel like, oh my god, there's so much to do. It wasn't that bad. It's just like, if Amanda procrastinated less, we would be better. How do you stay motivated? Are making friends more difficult? So I kind of spoke about that. Making friends is not it online. Like, how do you do it? I don't know. And how to stay motivated. I wish I can tell you how I stayed motivated, because I don't really know how I did. Like, I don't know how I stayed motivated. I was just thinking, like, you know what, like, we have to pass these classes because next year's your last year, and if you want it to be your last year, you have to pass all your classes. So that was kind of like my motivation factor. Other than that, there was no motivation there this semester, like this year. I will be honest, there was no motivation there. Just like I said, like sitting at my desk where like I do everything else, like I just felt like I wasn't in school, and there was like no motivation. And like, I don't know, just like no motivation other than the fact that I'm graduating next year, so I wanted to pass every single class because I don't want to be there any longer. So I guess that was my motivation. And the last question that I'm going to answer is, what's your favorite comms class you ever took? My favorite comms class that I've ever taken, I think it might be this class called Media and Gender. Not more so for like the actual course, but I really enjoyed the readings and it was really interesting. Like, we learned about transgender people in media, we learned about gay people in media. It was really interesting, and we learned about feminism and all these fun things. So it was an interesting class. It was at like 6 p.m. so like maybe I would have preferred a different time change, but that was a really interesting class and we learned a lot. Yeah, let me read you the course description for that so you get a better idea of what I'm talking about. So my favorite class is called Media and Gender so far. I'm taking really interesting classes next semester, but this course investigates how sex and gender are represented in and by media. The course examines sexuality, sexism, and theories of gender through a critical examination of contemporary media topics. So that is my favorite class that I've taken so far. And other than that, that kind of brings us to a wrap or an end of this video. So as you can tell, like this year was just like not my favorite year. It was not what I was kind of like expecting or hoping for, but that's okay. Like, just gotta think about how next year will be better and we'll make it better. And yeah, I'm just excited to see how next year rolls out. And like I said, it's my last year, so that'll be exciting. It'll also be my last year as a college YouTuber, which is like crazy to me because I'm like, what am I gonna do after? Where, like, how, like, I was talking about this on one of my podcast episodes, but like school, I've been going to school for 20 years, like most people, or almost 20 years. And it's been like, it's been in my personality, like, I don't know who I am without school, if that makes sense. Like, I don't like school. I'm not a school person. But I feel like because it's become such a part of my routine and my everyday life and like who I am, it's just like, what am I going to do after school? Like, I have to work a full-time job. Like, how do you do that? How do you get into that? And it's just like scary. I think I'm going to make a video about this, like when I graduate, because I'm not going to make it now. Like post-grad stress or something like that, because I'm already stressed and I'm not even like there yet. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to me below. And if you're new here, I make lifestyle, college, mental health, entrepreneurship, and LGBTQ plus content. So if you're into that, hit the subscribe button. We would love to see you join the fam. And okay, I feel like I don't know how to end a video. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.